Everyone got ready to go? Everyone turn their microphones on, please. Okay. Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Monday, September 15, 2025 City Council meeting. Uh-oh, do we have feedback happening again? Okay. I will stop talking now. How about now?
No.
Thought I would try.
The sound come through the little round speaker instead of it from these, but that doesn't.
I think you did too.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, when we have the public hearing, then I'll turn it back on. Because I don't, so if the person who's on hold wants to say something, they can say it then. I don't know what else to do.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. All right, sorry about that, everyone. Okay, roll call. All counselors are present. Deputy Mayor Smith, would you like to do the invocation?
Absolutely. If everybody would please join me in being the attitude of prayer. We pray for our country at all times, that all citizens are safe, healthy, and happy. We pray for wisdom for all those who guide and govern. Help this government body in every situation to know and to do the things that are right and just, with soundness of judgment in making vital decisions. We pray for the peacemakers, that the holy life-giving spirit may ever dwell in their hearts, and the barriers of fear, suspicion, and hatred may fall. This we pray to the Holy Father. Amen.
Amen. If everybody would rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 5 on our agenda is a declaration of any conflict of interest. Is there any counselor who wishes to declare that at this time?
Madam Mayor, I have a conflict for agenda item 15A, so I will not be participating in that executive session.
Thank you. Anything further?
Yes, I will be recusing myself from item 9, public hearings and possible action items, section B, public hearing number 2. I intend to speak from the floor while being recused.
Thank you. Okay. Item number 6 on the agenda is public forum. I want to just let everyone in the audience know our timer is not working this evening, so we'll do our best to time manually, but just as a reminder, anyone who wishes to speak, you do have 5 minutes to address the council. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak? Please come up and state your name and address.
My name is Bruce Egglestein. I live here on Coolidge, here in Caribou. I went through the agenda today and I looked at it and I go, holy smokes, there's a lot of stuff on here. Then I went through the packet, all 117 pages of it. And I looked at that, and the first thing in my head is, there is no way on this green earth you're going to get through all these items in one meeting. And I've said this before, there's so many things going on, and there's so many issues that need to be addressed and so forth, and you have some very important ones here on this agenda. I really like to emphasize to make things move a little quicker and we have some closure on some things. You have 2 meetings a month. This is way too much material for one meeting. I don't know whether we have to bring a cot and a pillow and whatever, but there is a lot of stuff here, and there's a lot of important things, and I think it's too much for one meeting. It should be broken up and have a second meeting on this. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to speak? Please come up and state your name and address.
Benjamin Tucker at 53 Baird Road. According to the Maine Municipal Association's Municipal Officers Manual, Maine law encompasses 4 conflict of interest situations that can occur in municipal government: financial conflict of interest, incompatibility of office, prohibited appointments or employment, bias. I'd like to take my time to address some of the conduct I had witnessed during the last meeting on August 25th, 2025, starting with Councillor Kelly's remarks directed at me at the end of the last meeting that I was unable to respond to at the time. At the end of this meeting, Councillor Kelly made a sternly worded statement with an assertion that there was no conflict of interest because she does not benefit financially from the construction of a new police station. However, there is a clear bias when your partner is a high-ranking member of the police force. Bias occurs when you cannot make a fair or impartial decision because of a prejudice or family relationship. Councillor Kelly, at the end of your statement, you asked me what my definition of a conflict of interest is and punctuated it with a veiled threat and a warning to be wise in how I use it. My definition is the same as the MMA's, and I will use it again today. There is a clear bias, and I believe it was improper to not recuse yourself from votes related to it, and it is improper for you to be on the committee for this project. In fact, I will go a step further and assert that there has been a pecuniary conflict of interest in addition. August 26th, 2024 meeting minutes. Motion by Deputy Mayor Terrio, seconded by Councillor Lovewell, to authorize City Manager Penny Thompson to contact the Caribou Police Department Patrol and Sergeant unions to draft a memorandum of understanding between the unions and the city to expand the salary structure by $7 per hour effective as soon as possible. Target would be with the week beginning September 3rd, 2024, and authorize Manager Thompson to sign this MOU when complete, in recognition that the police unions have a contract through 12/31/2025. The cost to fund these increases would come from committing the needed funds from available ARPA funds. Roll call vote. T. Lovewell, yes. J. Terrio, yes. C. Boma, yes. J. Kelly, yes. So voted. This is a vote to bring money directly to your partner into your own home. By not recusing yourself, this motion was jeopardized and could be declared void by a court if challenged. In a recent email exchange where I requested an apology for your treatment of me for the improper behavior, you implied that despite your threat, it was therefore no more unprofessional than your public opinion. In fact, it could be interpreted as public defamation, another thinly veiled threat. Councillor Kelly, I am not your dog and I will not sit on your command and I will not shut up. These are valid criticisms from a concerned private citizen, criticisms that others in the community have thanked me for expressing. You are a civil servant beholden to your constituency and you cannot intimidate me. I'd like to also address the mayor, who I'd also requested an apology from for the conduct she allowed to continue. It appears that Robert's Rules of Order do not apply equally among her council. I was sat next to a gentleman vocalizing discontent from the audience while the discussion was happening, and per Robert's rules, this was correctly admonished. However, throughout the same meeting, I witnessed Councillor Kelly repeatedly speaking when Councillor Bagley was expressing concerns regarding the council's actions around Richardson remedies. I repeatedly witnessed councillors whispering amongst each other, as it just happened. This is not a social club. This is a serious position that you are entrusted with, and decisions you make in this chamber affect thousands of individuals. So I'm here once again requesting an apology, not just for myself, but for the citizens of Caribou who are forced to watch the unprofessional conduct in their city council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, may I have a copy of that? Thank you.
Is there anybody else from the public who wishes to speak? Okay, seeing nobody, we will move on to item number 7, which is the acceptance of minutes, and there are no minutes for review at this meeting. Item number 8 is bid openings, awards, and appointments, and item 8A is a bid opening for the Riverfront Master Plan. That is on page 2 of your packets.
And Eric is here to talk about that.
Oh, perfect. Please come on up.
Good evening, members of the City Council and Manager Thompson. So for the public who might not know me, my name is Eric Sanderson. I'm the city's Economic and Community Development Specialist. I've been working here for the last 4 months or so. I'm really enjoying it. I'm here tonight to present a really exciting project that the city is undertaking. The Riverfront Master Plan is something that I know everyone here has worked really hard on through the Northern Border Region Commission grant that was received. To purchase two properties for the city. I think that really allows us to kind of control our own destiny and create a place in Caribou along the riverfront that's a really great spot for people to recreate, do business, shop, and the like. An RFP was put out in July. And at the end of August, we collected 5 separate submittals from Amorphous Studio, Dubois & King, North Star Planning, Razor Landscape Architecture, and Viewshed. The Riverfront Redevelopment Committee met on Wednesday, September 3rd, a few weeks ago, along with the liaisons from council, and we discussed the project and the submittals. After about an hour and a half of discussion, the group recommended and voted to award the contract to Razor Landscape Architecture based out of North Yarmouth, Maine, in the amount of $50,000. That vote was contingent upon checking review references of Razor, which staff did, and those references were pretty glowing. If I know the counselors can also speak to what was discussed, but it seemed that some of the most important things were kind of gathering up all the great ideas that city members and committee members also have, and really putting that into one cohesive plan. We reached out to a gentleman who was on the Thomaston Open Space Committee for one of the references, and he was able to provide a glowing reference of Razor in that regard in putting together all those ideas in one really cohesive plan. And the review continued, all positive. So with that, we are here in front of the council requesting that be allocated, and I'm happy to answer any further questions if desired.
Anybody have any questions?
Do you have any comments?
I just want to say again, we've been getting some excellent submissions recently from several different panels that we were on, that many of us are on, and this has been kind of a long time coming, but the applicants that came to us were all really great. And again, we're really starting to see some very quality applicants and submissions when we ask for bids, and I was really happy to see that, and I think this company's going to do a great job. So
I'll just add there, I think Razor stood out among all of them. They were all very, very good.
They were.
Razor clearly stood out. The breadth of experience across the nation for similar projects was
Right.
very, very impressive. And so they're going to be able to bring a lot of lessons learned, to our community and tailor it to us. And they have the ability to do that. So we're very excited. And oh, by the way, I was just in the audience. I'm not part of the.
but you've been part of it for a long time.
Well,
you were part of this committee for a lot of
That's
years.
right,
Yeah,
and I'm
you were.
interested, so I attend the meetings and, and participate to the extent that I'm allowed. And so, anyway.
They have a really strong design background, and one of the references even let us know that their plan allowed for a grant application through US DOT, which was the only application in the state supported by Maine DOT. So they were thankful for Razor's work on that, so I think that spoke very well to their work.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion to accept the proposal from Razor Landscape Architecture for the Caribou Riverfront Master Plan in the amount of $50,000.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Bagley?
Aye.
Kelly? Aye. Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Terrio?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Great. Okay. Item number 9 on the agenda is public hearings and possible action items. And item number 9A was listed as a public hearing for medical cannabis dispensary application from Richardson's Remedies, which is on page 10 of your packet. And it sounds as though, and Manager Thompson can help explain this a little bit better maybe, that we may not need to have a public hearing.
I'm just asking the person on Zoom if they're able to hear.
I don't think the council's on it anymore, is it?
No,
Yeah.
it isn't.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
It's all right.
Okay, what if I just do it from here and
You
see if
could.
that will work? Okay, are you able to hear me now? Are you able to hear me now?
I think she might be muted.
Yeah, she is, but I thought she might unmute.
Oh,
Not yet.
Not yet.
Sure that my Bluetooth is not on my phone.
Oh, we've got the video off too.
Right, until I admit the room, but then we'll end up with feedback.
Then you're gonna get feedback, I think.
Unless I mute Council Chambers, then we won't get feedback.
Oh,
You can
okay.
run the sound through yours.
Yeah.
I'll turn the camera
Okay,
on.
we'll see if that
That's what we did
works.
last month, right? That's what we did last month, right?
I think so.
Okay, so we're trying something else. Are you able to hear yet? Yes, okay, she can
All
hear
right,
this.
good.
That's what we did before.
Good, good, good.
Okay. Do you want me to go forward with this?
Yes,
here?
I
Okay.
think as long as everything's working okay now, we can go ahead.
So the city clerk's office has received a medical cannabis dispensary application from Richardson's Remedies under the newly revised Chapter 13, Section 39, which was repealed and replaced at the Caribou City Council meeting held on July 28, 2025. Section 2.2 details the process whereby submitted applications are evaluated and issued by the Caribou City Clerk. The city clerk's office has received an application under the section. Section 2.4 states that the registered dispensary must comply with the security requirements as outlined in the main medical use of cannabis program rule 18-691 CMR Chapter 2, Section 3B, and any revisions, amendments, or updates thereto. Section 4.1 states that all registered dispensaries must remain in compliance with applicable building, safety, fire, and health codes and shall be subject to inspection by city code enforcement officer, fire department, any other designated municipal authority. An inspection was performed on Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. by Deputy Code Enforcement Officer, Fire Chief, and Chief of Police to ensure compliance with Section 2.4 and Section 4.1. The report has been submitted to the Caribou City Clerk. At the Caribou City Council meeting held August 25th, 2025, the Caribou City Council voted in the affirmative to request that the Planning Board reconcile and integrate the newly adopted section of Chapter 13 into Chapters 13 and 7 of the city's codes and ordinances. For review, Chapter 7 is the licensing chapter. Facilities licensed under the former version of Section 39 follow the procedures contained in Chapter 7, Article 11 to obtain a license. The version of Chapter 13, Section 39 that was adopted contained language for licensing as stated above and, in Section 7, fees. The City Codes and Ordinances, Chapter 7, Article 11, contained additional criteria for dispensaries, including a public hearing. Chapter 7, Article 11 was not repealed and replaced with the adoption of revised Chapter 13, Section 39. As written, Chapter 7, Article 11 applies to registered nonprofit dispensaries and registered cultivation facilities. The revised section has not been integrated into the City of Caribou Codes and Ordinances, and therefore, the pending application, because it is not a nonprofit dispensary, would not be subject to Chapter 7, Article 11. In an email dated 9/8/25 from Municipal Attorney Richard Salmon, staff received advice on the matter, which included that the new ordinance amending zoning code by authorizing registered dispensaries became effective August 28th. Unfortunately, the council did not address the licensing ordinance at the same time. The provisions of Chapter 7, Licenses and Permits, Article 11 is limited to registered nonprofit dispensaries and registered cultivation facilities. The newly authorized registered dispensary is not in this category and is not subject to Article 11. Thus, at the present time, there is no separate licensing provision applicable to registered dispensaries. Given the situation, I recommend that the hearing be canceled and any decision on the permit be placed on hold. And then, assuming that the clerk and not the municipal officers are authorized to issue the permit, there are some other issues. Only the state of Maine can issue a license to operate a registered dispensary. Richardson's Remedies is not presently a registered dispensary and must apply to the state for a license. As a part of that process, Richardson's Remedies must provide evidence that registered dispensaries are authorized in Caribou, which they are as of 8/28. Section 4 of the new ordinance requires compliance with Maine law with proof of an active state of Maine license on request. The city should require that the applicant to provide an active license issued by the state as a prerequisite to a local license. Alternately, the city could issue a conditional permit contingent upon presentation of a valid state license. It also wouldn't hurt to contact the Office of Cannabis Policy for clarification of the process. Staff reached out to the Office of Cannabis Policy as recommended and received this clarification from Elisa Ellis. As to the last part, we require local authorization as part of the dispensary application, so your permit has to come first. In situations like this, which is similar to Auburn, they issue a conditional permit and then will issue a local license the same days as our license is issued. Once we issue the dispensary license, we will send you an email so you know it is issued. A public hearing was scheduled for this meeting for the registered dispensary application, as that had always been the practice under Chapter 7, Article 11. Further, it was better to schedule and not need a public hearing than to fail to schedule one and discover that staff had not done their due diligence. So for recommended actions, based on the excerpts and the information provided, the Caribou City Council agrees that if the Caribou City Council agrees that a public hearing is not required for the application, the public hearing can be canceled. The city clerk can proceed with processing the application as specified in the ordinance, in the approved ordinance, and will provide a conditional permit until the dispensary license is issued by the state of Maine.
Okay, what are the wishes of the council?
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion that we cancel the public hearing for this evening and allow the city clerk to proceed with processing the application as specified in the approved ordinance and provide a conditional permit until a dispensary license is issued by the state of Maine.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Okay. Bagley?
No.
Kelly?
Aye.
Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Terrio?
No.
Watson?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
So we do have Jill Cullen, who is on Zoom, who would like to speak.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I actually do not need to speak. I didn't realize you had already spoken with Ms. Ellis. I was going to clarify the licensing process, but Ms. Ellis has already clarified it for you that you have to act first. So thank you for letting me speak tonight, and I will follow up with the clerk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jill.
Okay, item number 9B is public hearing number 2, malt liquor, wine, and spirit sales for VFW Post 9389 on page 12.
She's on. But will people be able to hear if you turned that off?
Last time I was here, there was a coughing fit, so I brought my ginger ale with me. So give me a moment, we'll get started.
Good thinking. Okay, so the city received a new liquor license application from VFW Post 9389 on August 26, 2025. So we will be having a public hearing in consideration of this application. I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing at 6:26 p.m.
Are we on? Thank you.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak?
Oh, I do. Thought that was kind of self-evident, but okay. Do you want all the titles, or can we just get to the short one and get where we're going?
I think you just need to state your name and address.
Alrighty. My name is Paul Watson. I live at 10 Bellier Road, Caribou, Maine. And as far as I would like to have on record that I'm the District 1 Commander for Aroostook County for all veterans of foreign wars, including veterans. Having said that, in a very quick way, we are asking for this license to help fund all of the programs that we do. An example or a background for this very quickly so I can hit the 5-minute mark is that there's 1.4 million members of the VFW. There are 970 posts throughout the entire world. That's a fairly large organization. Unfortunately, very few of those positions are paid for. So that leaves the responsibility to create programs to provide for our community as well as take care of our members and the surrounding communities. An example is Aroostook County, the DAV, the American Legion, and various other military organizations are either no longer in place or are not capable of doing the mission that we do, so we've picked them up underneath our umbrella. This requires us at all times to be constantly vigilant of the money that we spend, as well as trying to look at unique ways to raise more money. As part of this endeavor, we started a pilot program where we had event licenses and we had dances out at our facility. Those went extremely well, and the money that was raised gave us a pathway forward to be able to communicate that to the community to support them. Examples of this would be the children's bingo back to school, in which case we handled over 190 kids. The Christmas bingo, where last year we did over almost 200 children who would not have had a Christmas without us. Anyway, having said all that, it takes a large amount of money to pull this off. So, but we're also compassionate to our neighbors and other businesses in the community. We do not want to run a bar. I know that sounds crazy, but we do not want to run a bar. We do not want to be open Monday through Friday. We do not want to compete with other businesses. We find that to be unacceptable. What we do want to do is use our space wisely. We would like, and we are applying for, and thank you for the staff for recommending that we go forward. What we are looking for is to do qualified catering with 100 special events. What this will allow us to do is if you come and you rent the hall from us, we will provide a bar service. We can continue to provide dances. We're the only building left pretty much in Aroostook County, and I say that because I travel Aroostook County pretty much daily, that can take 300 people underneath its roof. That's a huge, huge avenue for entertainment for folks. But again, we have no desire to compete with the locals. It is not our desire to burn someone out of their business. We're just simply looking at ways to fund our organization and pay back to the community that so greatly supports us. I'm willing to entertain any questions if you guys have any.
Anybody on the council have questions?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else from the public who wishes to speak? Okay, seeing none, I will go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:29 p.m.
Madam Mayor, make a motion to approve the liquor license special amusement permit for VFW Post 9839 and have City Manager Penny Thompson approve the online application.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Bagley?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye.
Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Terrio?
Aye.
Watson? Aye. Motion carries. Okay. All right, item number 10 is reports by staff and committees, and 10A is our financial report for August 2025, presented by Finance Director Carl Grant.
Evening, Mayor, Councilor, and Manager Thompson. The narrative is on page 14. I'll be referencing from page 15 and on. August financials, assets on hand as of August 31st was $9,701,886.22. Cash on hand was $3,927,254.62. 3/4 of the way down the page, the 2025 tax receivables for the month collected $88,571.02. And we have a year-to-date total of $461,560.24 towards the prepayments of the 2025 commitment. On the next page, the liabilities at the bottom of the page ended at $6,276,732.73. Moving over to page 20 for our fund balance. About a third of the way down the page, we had an ending fund balance of $3,425,153.49. Moving over to our expenses for the month on page 22. Our current month's expenses came in at $943,512.02. We are under budget year-to-date through August, down 11.3%. And until we go to commitment, as you can see under the line above the total, the capital improvements we haven't expensed yet, as we do that after commitments approved and processed. Moving over to page 27, our revenues for the month. We came in at $1,128,147.62. We're at 45.8% collected year-to-date, and that's about 20.9% under budget. And again, until we go to commitment, that number is severely under budget. But we'll go up to the average budget once commitment is posted. Excise for August came in at $179,350.03. Our year-to-date collection is at $1,202,200.41. We are over budget on our excise tax year-to-date at 1.8%. Revenue sharing for August came in at $222,561.45. Year-to-date, we're at $1,767,461.66. And we were over budget year-to-date at 5.4%, or about $132,000. And our graph for the month is on page 32. And we are looking at our excise trend over the last 5 years. Just want to let you know that 2 out of the last 3 months we were actually over compared to last year for June and August. As far as year-to-date through August, we're over, like I said, by $32,000, about 2.6% compared to last year at the same time. – That's all I had to present, unless somebody had questions.
Questions for Carl?
No.
Okay.
Motion to accept the financials as presented.
Second.
Motion second. Further discussion? Bagley?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye.
Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Terrio?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Carl. Item 10B is the Public Safety Building Committee report on page 33 of your packet. The Caribou City Council Public Safety Building Committee has been working with Artifacts and Mans Woodward on a design for a new police station building. The RFP went out and the bids were opened publicly on June 18, 2025. All bids were over the desired budget. Lane Casey Contractors of Augusta, Maine was the lowest bidder once deductive alternates were considered. Artifacts suggested that we reach out to the low bidder for suggestions or value engineering for the project to get to an affordable price range. Lane Casey Contractors brought numerous cost reduction ideas to Artifacts and to the city. The committee met with Artifacts and Mans Woodward via Zoom on September 4, 2025 to discuss all of the reduction ideas. The committee met again to discuss the information gained from that meeting and to evaluate next steps on September 9, 2025. Given that all the bids exceeded the desired budget and that the final value engineering recommendations also remained above the desired budget, the City Council Public Safety Building Committee makes the recommendation to the Caribou City Council to reject all bids received on June 18, 2025. In lieu of new construction, the Caribou City Council Public Safety Building Committee has decided to consider existing building refurbishment based on options not previously available. To that end, staff has reached out to the Boston HUD office to obtain information on how changing direction will affect the $2.5 million CPF funding secured by Senator Collins' office. Further, if acceptable by HUD, the committee would like to go forward with a request for qualifications and fee proposal from a firm to assist the city with the evaluations of available buildings and then assist with renovations of the buildings selected. And Manager Thompson, did you have any updates?
I did. I had a Zoom today with the T-Head office in Boston with the person that's our project manager down there, and she said that due to our application that we had, it was kind of vague. It was for a police station. It didn't say specifically new construction, that we would be able to change that, and she's given me the steps for us to go in. We have to change the scope, we have to change the budget, but she's given me all the tools I need to do that.
Perfect, that's great, thank you. Okay, so we are going to revisit this topic under item 11A. So I don't know if anyone has questions now or if you'd like to wait until we get to 11A.
No, we can wait.
Okay. All right. Item 10C is the Municipal Buildings Committee report. That's on page 34 of your packet.
Councilor Kelly, you're the chair. Did you want to read the memo, or did you want me to? Okay. So the Caribou City Council Municipal Buildings Committee met on September 9th, 2025. The committee received updates regarding ongoing projects at municipal buildings. Most are at least partially funded by grants secured by staff, and that report is enclosed. And you'll find that on pages 35 and 36, I believe. So a couple of the projects that we discussed were sidewalk replacement here at the municipal building. So staff continued to get citations from MMA Safety about the sidewalks being in poor repair. Public Works Director Chris Perkins, who is here tonight and can speak to this, has worked with a contractor who would be able to do this work. This is below our threshold of $10,000 that would be required to go out for bid. The source for funding for this project would be account G1-370-05, which is the curbing reserve, which is the account that also includes money set aside for sidewalks. The current balance in that account is $45,178.30. The committee recommended moving forward with this project. A second project that we discussed that they wanted to move ahead was the municipal building. It was actually for the Wellness Center and our municipal building here. Upgrades for ADA compliance. So the issue is that the municipal building and the wellness center are not fully accessible to citizens using a wheelchair. Gary Marquis has solicited bids to have the proper door controls installed, and the bids are attached for action item 11B and C relate to this agenda item. The quote for the wellness center is $2,152 for the door contractor and $865 for the electrician. The quote for the municipal building is $5,500 for the door contractor and $945 for the electrician. This again is below our threshold of $10,000 that would be required to go out for bid. So the funding source would be from the reserve accounts for the individual buildings. The municipal building reserve currently has $25,307.25. The rec center improvements, which is account G1365-02, has $20,431.94. And an additional amount was budgeted in '25 for each of these two accounts, but it's not been transferred into the account until after we have tax commitment. The committee would like to move forward with the ADA compliant controls at the Wellness Center and would like to have more information on the current doors at the municipal building to find out if they are ADA compliant, if the controls are installed before approving the work there. So as with the last report, there is some action on these items under 11B and C. I don't know if you have any questions about the municipal building staff report that was prepared for that.
For me.
Depending on the US EPA brownfield cleanup grants,
Okay.
on page 36,
Yep.
is there, we're postured to release an RFP for that work, is that right?
Correct.
Do you have a sense of when that will be? It seems like it's been a while since
Right.
we asked for that.
Yeah, so we have two different projects. One is the diesel plant, one is the steam plant. The diesel plant was the 2023. And I actually spoke to our QEP, the Qualified Environmental Professional, today. And so she's just finishing up some work because, we decided we needed to add something in there about the close proximity to the substation. So as soon as that is added in there, it will go out. We currently have a request for qualifications and bid proposal for the QEP for the steam plant.
Right,
So we've
So
got.
it's imminent.
Yeah.
We're like days away.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good,
So
thanks.
we have a couple of different brownfields projects going on, and those are the updates on the two of them.
Can't wait.
Hoping to get some things done before the snow flies. Oh, listen, well, you know, too,
I know,
because we
yeah.
both drive from the same direction, and so we see those
Yeah.
buildings when we come into town, and it's amazing what the skyline will look like.
It'll be an
when
amazing
this-
transformation.
Yeah.
Good.
And really, we will worry less about contamination into the Aroostook River with all of that cleaned up. And that's something that, I think about a lot and worry about something happening. But we've already got a lot of the petroleum products out. So that was a big worry. That's taken care of. And then with the EPA CERCLA action, they did take a lot of the asbestos that were immediate hazards. So we are in a lot better place than we were last year at this time with both of these buildings.
Did that fencing, I know that there was going to be some fencing that was
Mhm.
that was more stable or more semi-permanent than what was there before. Has that been installed?
It
in
has, so that
in
was
place?
part of the EPA CERCLA action, so
Awesome.
that was not something that the city had to pay for. They put that up. I mean, people can still get around it if they try hard, because, you can't go like into the river, so they can go around if they want to. But we're hoping that it keeps some people out, because there are still very harmful contaminants there, and we don't want people to bring those back into their homes, into the community, that kind of thing.
And what about the tanks that we don't own, right?
Mhm.
Is that still true?
That is still true.
We don't
not
own them. Are
those.
they cleaned? Are they cleaned up? Or is
I
that still?
remember our QEP talked to us about that, and I think that at least, I don't know, I believe at least one of them is clean.
Because I know the Northern Maine Atlantic
Yes.
Society or whatever.
Yeah.
They were interested in obtaining one of those tanks for a
Mhm.
fish hatchery.
Yeah. I believe they actually took title to those tanks.
Yes. I
They
believe
did?
so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, good. All right,
Yeah.
super.
Yeah, that would be neat. Yep.
Okay, item 10D is the city manager's report.
So one of the hot topics that is not on the agenda anywhere else, so I thought I should put it on the manager's report for tonight, is the Fort Street Bridge project. Yeah, and so on September 4th, there was a stakeholder meeting for those who will be impacted by the not all of the people that would be impacted, but different people that would be affected by the Fort Street River Bridge project due to the project that is scheduled to begin in 2027. This is a historic bridge built in 1952 and had a pin replacement in 2005. The main project for this will be deck replacement. There will also be truss repairs and truss strengthening. And I have this in bold letters. There will be an extended bridge closure. The Maine DOT investigated 4 options and decided on option 4, which will cost $22.1 million, last for 27 months, and impact traffic for 16 months. This period will have an 8-month total closure and an 8-month period of alternating closures. As more information becomes available, staff will have it loaded on the City of Caribou website. So we actually have a place on our website for DOT planning projects. And the only thing I have right now is the agenda from that meeting, and I have sent that to our, the person who does our website updates, and she will be able to load that on Thursday, because she's got to create like a new heading for that. And as we get more information, like for example, when we had this meeting, they had a slide deck for the meeting, and we haven't got that yet. I did ask late last week to see when we were going to get that, and they said that there was something that they felt was confusing, so they were fixing that. So whenever we do get anything, we'll be putting it here. I can also plan to update at the meetings. I will tell you, it's already creating a lot of strong feelings in the community, because we have a lot of people that live on that side of the river. So Councilor Terry, I know you're over there. And yeah, so there's, it's going to be very troublesome for people to come into town. And also, as it was discussed at the meeting, which Chief LaJoy was on and Director Perkins was on, Superintendent Marquis, we were all on there. It's going to be very difficult for people who have emergencies that we need to get over there. It's going to be difficult for school buses. It's going to be difficult for plow trucks. Like everything that we're currently, the services we're providing, it's going to be difficult for us to provide those services across the bridge for at least 16 months.
How come the people didn't get any information about this stakeholders meeting? Was it just for?
It was really just for like the towns. Like it was, so like the postmaster was on there. There was the school superintendents. There were people from Fort Fairfield there because they're going to be impacted also. Was there anybody from Presque there on the meeting? I don't remember there being somebody. So it was really just for, I guess, kind of the, okay, so it's going to be like, I guess we're going to be the bearers of bad news, I guess, some of it. But, so this was kind of a lead up to, they are going to have some kind of a public meeting. And
they're probably scared to death.
Well, I guess that's why they're sending us like out there, to get all the fire for it now. And I asked them if they had any kind of briefing sheet on the project that we could share, and they said they don't do that until they have the public meeting. So, but there will be a public meeting, and we'll make sure that people know about it. Again, we're once we get this little site built, as I get things, I will have Bethany put them on there. So if it's something that people are, interested in, keep checking that, because that's where we'll put things.
But, correct me if I'm wrong, they're not offering an alternate solution to cross the bridge.
Correct. So they looked at 4 options, and and they let us know in this meeting, this is the option they have chose.
So if somebody's looking to run like a ferry boat, you know, for a short term to make some money, this would probably be a good time to put
You
the
know, when
down
you talk
payment.
about raising money for the
Yep.
things that you want to do.
I'm
with
just
the
telling you,
VFW,
I'm always trying to think, you know.
I feel like
Good
you've
idea.
got some people in your ranks that have had to cobble together things to do that same job in
I have a
places that
lot
are
of
even
com-
scarier than the Orchard River.
I have a lot of combat engineers that would love to make a
Yes.
dollar. doing
Yes,
this.
well, they're gonna have their chance.
So it looks like
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting.
So we'll keep people updated on that, and,
Oh, it's
I can say
awful.
Caribou was well represented. The department heads that we had and our superintendent and our postmaster, everyone had great questions, you know, and one of the big ones that we talked about, which actually, I said it, but it was Director Perkins and I were listening to the meeting at the same time, and he says, you need to ask them if they're gonna share any money with us, because it's gonna cost us a lot more in gas,
It
you
is.
know, to do all this. So I asked the question, and I looked smart, but it was actually Director Perkins' question. And they said that it's something to bring to them. So believe me, we will be bringing them, and also Fort Fairfield too. They're impacted also. So that's something, as we're looking to our 2027 budget, you know, we'll have to be thinking about these
Yeah.
things, and we'll also have to be thinking like, how can we recoup some of those extra expenses that we'll have paying the farrier to get us
Yep.
across the river, and other things that are going to come about because
In the
of
winter
this.
time too?
Well, the thing is, I want to get into how you lay a float bridge and get it done in a short amount of time, but
A little bit.
I guess the question that I have about this, and we've discussed
Depends on
this
how cold
for
it
some
is.
length, is that in doing this, you know, the well system for Caribou is on the other side of the bridge.
Correct.
So the public water folks are gonna have to figure out how they're swimming to bring water across, which is just, in my mind, you know, I don't wanna say the word, but, you know, almost did there for a second, but, and then how are you going to, you know, emergency services is your second large impact, you know, and I think that now's the time to start really telling folks that, you know, we know you're stranded, but, you know, we're still working with you. Because that's a long haul to go all the way down
It
the
is.
Grimes Road.
Yeah.
And that road is not designed, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the Grimes Road is not designed to take that type of impact.
Not at certain sections.
I mean,
Not at certain sections.
You gotta go
right, and it, right. The only part of that road, if I'm not mistaken, that's able to handle the size of traffic that we're talking about is from the access point off the access highway to the old McCain's freezer station. After that, the road substantially deteriorates as far as depth and structure to take the survivability, as well as width. So, you know, that might be nice to talk to DOT and see, whereas they're doing the project out by Spud Speedway, you know, if we're going to do a detour, you know, are they willing, you know, because of a project they're doing, is there a way that we can be compensated for the wear and tear on that road? That's, you know, I think that's feasible considering they already offered it once, and this is just an extension of that same theory of application.
Well, I was told too that they said that the reason they're doing it this way is because it's gonna add a year to the job and another $10 million. Well, by the time they get done doing all this stuff, it's gonna cost them anyway.
Oh, yes.
So, you know,
But realistically, if you look at it, and again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, there is no other alternative to going to that side. I mean, that is the shortest direction. The Grimes Road is the shortest direction to get there and come back. I think the chief will agree with me that to go to Presque Isle and swing around is absolutely insane for an ambulance or a fire truck. So now you need the MOU to be rewritten and to cover us while we're in this construction phase. Just things to think about. That's all.
How much further is the road that, I don't remember what road it is, the dump is on, the transfer station or whatever?
In Murphy Road?
Murphy.
Yeah, so how much further is that? And would it be more prepared for larger loads just because of trucks going in and out? No?
Well, it comes off the Grimes Road. Murphy Road comes off.
It's
the
still,
Grimes
it's still
Halfway
next, so,
down,
okay,
yeah.
got
It's still
you.
using
Okay.
that. Well,
I don't travel that enough
I mean,
apparently.
we've
but
seen this on the
it's pretty-
Madawaska Road. That road wasn't built for the
No.
amount of traffic.
No.
And that's only
That's a lot
gonna
on
be
there
for,
a short version.
what, 3 or 4 months, not 8, and
Yeah.
not during,
Mhm.
you know, in the winter time or something. But, so we're following this. And again, there's a lot of people in Caribou that's paying attention to this. It might be something that the Highway Protection Committee maybe wants to meet, maybe talk about this and some other issues that we're dealing with.
A gondola would work really well for tourism.
Oh,
It would.
tourism, yeah, gondola.
Zip line.
I know.
Yeah.
Zip line, yeah, we can think of a lot of fun things to do.
Then also in the packet for the city manager's report, Amanda Jondro, who's here, shared a couple of pieces that were written by some of her colleagues at Harriman about municipal buildings, and I just thought it was interesting. So, but on 41, this is not any kind of layout of any of our buildings, because I did have a taxpayer ask me, like, what does this have to do with the fire station or the police station? And it doesn't, it's just talking about that these are big projects for municipalities, and the city of Caribou has several going on right now, and I thought it was some good information that they had here.
Thank
And then
you.
with that, I'll take any questions that anybody has.
No.
Anybody? Okay, thank you. Okay, so item 11 is unfinished business, so we're going to hop back into some of the conversations we were having under item 10. First is 11A. This would be a city council vote on the action recommended by the Public Safety Building Committee on page 42.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion that we reject all bids received on June 18th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Bagley?
Aye.
Kelly? Aye. Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Terrio?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Madam Mayor, on the next item here shown, the only thing that I would want to state up front is I really would like to separate the evaluation from the architect engineering part and not bundle it all together in one RFQ, because you want to have a completely impartial assessment. You don't want somebody self-interested in a solution that then they're going to be able to continue on the same contract, you know, to build. So that would be the only thing that I would object to there. So that being said, I would like to make a motion to advertise a request for qualification and fee proposal for a firm to assist the city with the evaluation of available buildings if staff receives a response from HUD that the city is able to proceed with that option.
What
Which
page
I
are
did
you on?
receive today.
42.
Oh, you're on 42. Oh, I got you, okay.
I just deleted and then assist with renovations of the building selected. Let's keep that separate.
I'll second that.
Yep.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? I mean, certainly, we could certainly separate those. It's just gonna make the project take longer, but it's already taken this long, so, I mean,
Do we
doesn't
have a
really make a
sense for
difference.
the scope, like how many different buildings we're going to be looking at?
It's
So
a
that's something
little
else
soon
that
to
came to
tell.
mind, because we've already looked at a few of them.
Right, and we wouldn't look at those again.
Right, obviously.
Yeah.
So I agree with what the mayor said. I want to keep this quick.
Mhm.
Let's get through this, let's do an evaluation, let's get to an answer quickly so that we can get a course of action.
Mhm.
So we want to limit our scope to 3 or 4, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
last time,
That's 4 maybe.
there were 3 that I can remember, and I feel like there was a 4th that I can't remember. They
Architects looked at City
this
Hall,
building, yeah.
52 Sweden Street,
Yeah.
and the Sitel building. They looked
Correct.
at those
Those
three.
I can remember.
Yes.
And there was a couple of houses by the courthouse.
Yeah, we looked
Right,
over
We
there.
looked
Okay.
at that more for a location.
Right,
Reno.
tear
Not
down.
necessarily
and-
a building.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
a separate
Yeah,
study, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that
Yeah.
was that was like the next phase, which was like like a location? Like,
So I
what
think
was the
we
location?
have all of that under our belts. And
Yeah.
so there are a few, the FW Web building, I think.
Right.
would-
That
might
one
be
wasn't available.
TD Bank
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
Are there
TD
any?
Bank would- TD Bank was one that I was thinking about, so.
Yeah, are there any others?
The Aroostook County Electrical Supply Building, I've seen like a for sale by
Oh, yeah,
owner
that's
sign.
That's
Mhm.
true.
And I feel like when the word gets out, we might hear from, you know, other
other
people who
options.
maybe don't have them advertised right now, but might bring them to the committee and we can see if they might work. You know,
Okay.
but
All right. Any further discussion?
No.
Bagley?
Aye.
Kelly? Aye. Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Terrio?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
So, Madam Mayor, additionally, since we are taking a new direction here, and I totally support it, I would like to make a motion to provide 7-day notice to terminate the Artifacts contract. If we do that tomorrow, it will be effective on the 23rd of September, I believe, under paragraph 9.4 of the contract.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Bagley?
Aye?
Kelly? Aye. Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Terrio?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
good catch with that.
Okay, item number 11B is the municipal building sidewalk project, which has been recommended by the Municipal Buildings Committee, and this is on page 43.
And so we have our new Public Works Director, Chris Perkins, is here, and he can talk to you about this project if you have questions.
Madam Mayor, Council, City Manager Thompson, great to finally meet you all.
Welcome.
So I was hired in July, and one of the first things that I was talking to Carl about was the sidewalks out front. I have a concrete background prior to Public Works, and I'm familiar with a bunch of contractors. Of course, this is the end of July, so I knew that I had everybody's busy. And I had a young man in mind that I'm familiar with and does good work, so I just asked him for a quote. And we wanted to do it in 2 phases, obviously, to try to keep the council, or keep the city hall running. And he was willing to do that logistically with us. I offered to also, we did the groundwork for him, so he gave us a really good rate at $10 a square foot, 4,000 pound concrete. The kid does a beautiful broom finish, false curb, we can get rid of all that ugly granite curbing, all ADA compliant. And my plan was to have him do the main entrance first, probably be about around 4 days. I've already had our carpenter come down, reinforce the wheelchair ramp, jack it up so wheelchairs can access the building. And then we do the east side second, thinking the scope of the project. 8 to 10 days complete, start to finish. So, but I don't know if you had any other questions. I wrote up kind of a handout that Penny had, and everything's in there explained.
Yeah, I think it looks good. The quote was a little bit lacking, so you kind of have to go back to the scope of work, and so I would make a motion. This is going to be different from what's in the packet. I make a motion to approve the scope of work and quoted cost from Willett Concrete for the replacement of the sidewalk in front of the municipal building to be paid from G1-370-05. The change is scope of work and quoted cost from Willett Concrete.
Second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion?
Nope.
Bagley?
Aye.
Kelly? Aye. Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Terrio?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Okay, item number 11C is the ADA door project recommended by the Municipal Buildings Committee. And Gary, did you plan to speak?
Yes, he plans to speak.
Council Manager Thompson. Back in April, I had PDQ Doors come down and look at our building for handicap accessible doors at the Wellness Center, and while I had him in town, I asked Manager Thompson if she would want me to come down and take a look at the City Hall as well. Both of our buildings are extremely used very well, and I've had many elderly people ask, how come we don't have handicap accessible doors? I really think it should have been put in when the building was built, but it was an oversight. So here we are now looking at doing them. I know that there's been some concern about the doors here at City Hall, if they can withstand handicap accessible openers, and PDQ indicated that these doors are perfectly fine. They still have long life on them. So he didn't feel that there would be any issues, and if we do turn around down a few years from now, buy new doors, we could reinstall them onto a new set of doors. So I messaged PDQ last week, and I got a hold of them today, because it's been several months and the prices are still firm. Those prices are still all good. So both facilities, and I think Manager Thompson indicated the rec center was $2,500 a while ago. They're both exactly $5,500 a piece. So a little bit more here for electrical work, only because you got to go through a couple extra steps. But they would both be very well used, and I think especially with the number of elections that we have going on in the Wellness Center now and everything else, both of these buildings are definitely needed handicap accessible doors.
And with the fact that we have so much more absentee voting.
Correct.
In the future.
Correct.
I mean,
And-
that's become a
And it will,
per norm now.
and it will bode well with the new sidewalks that's gonna get put in, with all ADA compliancy. The City Hall will be in really good shape for that. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Purely curiosity. On your building, are you talking about doing it dead center? Are you gonna do it more towards your office or more towards where they're voting?
No, right dead center.
Okay. And how-
Only because the middle door doesn't get a lot of use now.
Okay,
The kids are always going in and out the right-hand side closest to my office on the new part of the building.
right,
And it just makes more sense to put it in the middle.
okay. What about the inner door?
The inner doors, both of these, that includes, both sets of doors are gonna have
Right.
openers.
But it won't be like step in, step over, it's gonna be a straight shot straight through?
Correct.
Okay.
So we could,
So do I have the price wrong in here? Is it 55 for each one? Because I have on this page that it was 2152 for PDQ.
Yeah, I'm not sure,
I probably just saw something wrong. that's all.
because I've got the quotes are right here, and and you have them as well, they're both 5,500.
Okay.
Because I couldn't figure out why it would have been such a different
Big
price.
difference.
Yeah,
What's this?
I obviously
Yeah,
did
we
something.
see it, yeah.
so it's 5,500.
It's
Or-
5,500 for the
Two
Wellness Center and
total,
5,500 here.
55.
And
So we make two
then,
motions.
the cost for the electrical piece is,
Yeah.
what was it, $865 for the Wellness Center and
Yeah.
$945 for City Hall.
That's on page 49, so I don't know where I came up.
So,
So I move that we approve the scope of work and quoted costs from PDQ Door and R.L. Todd and Sons for the installation of ADA compliant electric doors at the Wellness Center and City Hall to be paid out of accounts G1 365-202 and G1 373-03 respectively.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion?
it'll be done, well, just, obviously it'll be done, hopefully
This year.
This season.
I indicated this morning to the gentleman, I'll find out tonight, I'll get him know tomorrow. He said it's a couple weeks to get him ordered, and then they'll make an appointment to come to appointment.
Perfect.
So
Great.
hopefully by the end of, middle of October, end of October, we'll have them.
Well, I just want to say too, as a mother of 2 wheelchair-bound kids, I appreciate it. You know, the world isn't meant for kids in wheelchairs or people in wheelchairs, and so it's nice when you just get a little bit of extra assistance in that way. So, good job.
This is a great initiative,
Yep.
as well as the sidewalk, to make everything better for everybody.
We're very thankful to have department heads that notice that and bring it forward and do the legwork for us. It's very nice. And I thank both of them for that.
All right.
I would just clarifying something. It says quantity 2.
Yeah, we need,
Total 5,500 for the 2.
yes.
Okay. So what is that?
There's
the
going to be
indoor
2
and
sets
the-
of buttons.
Okay, the
Because-
indoor and the outdoor.
Correct.
Okay.
Because both buildings have a foyer. Unless we want to get rid of the 2 doors that are here in the middle, it'd be cheaper. But we can't do
So
that for
the
fire
fif-
reasons.
So the 5,500 includes both sets?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
That tripped me up as well,
Yep.
because I was
Yeah.
looking for a unit price, and it,
Right.
right,
yeah.
but I kind of made an assumption,
Yeah,
so
okay.
thanks for clarifying that.
Okay. Time to vote. All right. Bagley.
Aye.
Kelly. Aye. Lovewell.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Terrio.
Aye.
Watson.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you, for all your help.
Thank you. Okay, item number 12 is new business, we already talked about that part. Okay, new business ordinances and resolutions, and 12A, excuse me, is the fire station project schematic design approval. That's on page 50 of your packets.
So you do have in the packet, I had the materials that I got from Amanda Chandra, who's here today to talk about the project. I know it's kind of hard to see them, so you do have at your stations 11 by 17 copies of the plans, just so it's easier to look at. And then I also printed off the packet, just so that if you decide that you don't want to keep your council packet, but you want to keep the things on this excellent project that we're working on, those are ready for you to take home. And I have to say, and I think the Municipal Buildings Committee would agree with me, this has been a great project. It was, getting the RFP out, doing the interviews, the council approving the contract, and here we are, September 15th, and we're ready to vote on schematic design to move forward to design development. So, with all of that praise, here is Amanda Chandra.
It's really Chief's project.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to talk about it, Chief? I'm more than happy to.
Of course.
More than happy to share the
Smart
podium.
man.
Good evening, counselors. As Penny has already stated, I'm Amanda Jandro. I work with Harriman. She very nicely provided you a couple of journal articles earlier in your packet. So we submitted schematic design. Would you mind scrolling down?
Yeah, sure.
Penny?
What, do you want me to just go to the next page?
You can, so the report in front of you basically outlines all of the engineering scope. So instead of doing a full design package for all of the engineering disciplines, we do a report and outline the scope, and that's what we actually price. And then further down, you will get into the drawings here. So we've included kind of some civil scope, existing utilities, and then if we go into the architectural drawings.
So the pretty things.
The
like-
pretty things.
Yes.
So really, this is the fire station. So this is what we call, our existing conditions as it is right now. A reflected ceiling plan. Chief's office is in the basement. If you go to the next page. Oops.
Sure you're on the same page. You look lost.
One more. Yeah. This is the existing conditions in the Lions Club as it is right now.
Don't bite.
Demo plans.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, taking out, demo plans for the fire station. This is upstairs.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time.
Sorry, our
seeing.
screen is not very good
Yeah,
for
I know, not
projecting
very
like
good.
that.
Angle that I'm at.
Yeah.
This is
We need to get her
the
new one.
existing bathrooms. This is the existing Lions Club demolition. So we're taking out the bathrooms, the walls. There's ceilings. There's reflected ceiling plans in the old office space. You go to the next plan.
Amanda,
Yeah.
do you want to use the sets or do you use that from Stripe?
No, I'm good. Demo plans for, no, this is the first floor plan. So in the fire station, we are planning on a new kitchen, new dormitories. We're separating the females' dormitory from the male dormitory.
Right.
We've got 3 female Murphy beds slated and 19 in the male dormitory. We are also separating out all of the bathrooms. So we're providing 2 single-use shower rooms that are ADA accessible for the showers, and then 2 restrooms that are unisex with water closets and urinals. This is a blow-up of the kitchen area, the vestibule, and then all new fixtures and flooring and lockers in the bathroom area.
Did you want to talk about asbestos tile?
Yes.
Yeah.
We just got back the test reports for the tile and the mastic and the cove base around the perimeter. This is, cove base is that around the perimeter in the dormitory. That all came back as hot, so we will be abating all of that. Flooring in the Lions Club came back, or no, I'm sorry, the mastic in the Lions Club, so the glue that they used to tack down the flooring, that came back hot, so we'll be abating that as well. Next page, Penny. Yep. Oh, and also in the fire station, we are sprinklering the entire station.
Okay.
This is the Lions Club. So in the Lions Club, we are replacing the concrete ramp outside to make it ADA compliant. Right now, it's too steep to be ADA compliant. And we're installing touch buttons, similar to what sounds like we're doing at the rec. So you can approach, hit the door, and it'll automatically open. So there'll be 2 ADA compliant restrooms in here, and then also Chief's office will be moving over here. His assistant has an office, and then a conference room and a workout area for the firefighters. And I think that is the majority of the scope for this Lions Club.
Do you do a cost estimate at the schematic design point?
We do, and that's what we use to direct where
Right.
we're going.
So where are we on the cost estimate?
I just got it in late on Friday, and I'm still digesting it, seeing what we can take out, or that was just, assumed that was not in the project really. And then again, at schematic, you carry a higher contingency so there's a lot of room provided, but it gives us direction as to where we need to cut cost and limit scope.
Right.
Yep.
But it's a good checkpoint to make sure your design is tracking to the cost. And so
Correct.
I think we're being asked to approve the schematic design drawings. I don't know how we can do that without that cost estimate. Can you address that?
So all that we'll do is we're going to take the schematic design and the estimate, and we're going to pare it down to your budget, is what we're going to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it gives us a place to start and either work forward or backwards from that number.
But it's not definitive in all defining.
It defines all of the
No, no, what I
scope,
mean is-
but it's not what you're going to be bidding.
Right.
So, Chief put we put in everything that he wants.
Right.
We get the number back, and then it really helps us decide what's going to stay in the project moving forward and what will be not in the project moving forward.
And then you proceed to design development with those changes.
And then we will have another estimate at design development.
With a lower contingency.
With a lower contingency.
You're getting closer, you're getting
We keep
more and more
working,
detail.
we're working our way back, so there
the way
won't
it
be any
should be done.
surprises when the bids are opened.
Very nice.
Theoretically. There are always surprises, but
Well, see, is asbestos a surprise? Is that-
yes, it
is
was
that
already
gonna take
included.
us pretty hard?
62,000 for the abatement.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's always huge. Abatement always can.
Yeah, I
In
mean.
any project.
Yeah, you've got HEPA filters and you've got to cordon it off, and so.
Made more complicated because it's a 24-hour facility.
Correct. But not, it's doable.
Yes, and I'll say that when Harriman had their interview for the project, they did come with a good idea of what to do during the construction. And it was something, Chief LaJoy was there, and so he liked that plan that they had for that.
Any comments from the chief
Did I
on the
miss
schematic?
anything?
That's good.
No, so I presented the state of.
You want to just come to the microphone just so people at home can hear?
Good evening, councilors. So I did present this today to a majority of the crews that are working. I have a few questions for Amanda tomorrow, but there are a few things that they had concerns about, but we'll address those and go from there. But I think for the most part, Amanda has done a very good job on addressing what we're looking for, and hopefully everything comes in and we have enough money to do what we want to do. I think it'll make a really good facility, make it more workable, and especially accommodating our female that works with us, and any future females
great,
that
yeah.
make a
So they don't have to share the bathroom with the boys?
Yes. Yes.
What's the overall budget for the work?
One, you want soft costs included?
Yes.
Or
Yes,
Of course.
2.35?
I was gonna say, I was thinking it's 2.3, but.
Yeah.
And 1.4 of that is grant money?
We also have grant money coming from the county too, and then the city appropriated money in 2022.
Mhm.
And we've also appropriated some of our ARPA funds to that
Yeah.
too. So the nice thing about the fact that the city has appropriated ARPA funds is that if we have ARPA projects that can't be finished, because we already have an open project with the fire station, we can always move those over.
You can
Because
sweep
whenever-
that money and use it for something else.
Exactly,
That's
exactly. And
very
so this
good.
being one of those projects that we have earmarked money for, it's easy to take some of that to move it over. Yeah.
Good.
If we have something that we would need to do that.
It makes a good utilization of that Lions building, because
Yes.
I mean, it's just kind of sitting there. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a city asset, and it's really,
They use
No.
it for training, but one of the things, with the police station investigations that we've been doing, and also with the fire station, and I guess one of the things that prompted me to try to get the congressionally directed spending, and our municipal buildings committee at the time with different members of what we have here. Although I think, Councilor Bagley, you were on it at the time, we started going down this road. No, you weren't here in 22, so it was right before you.
Yes, I was.
Were you on the council in 22?
I got elected, January 1st.
Well, you would have taken
21.
it's 23, 24, 25. So the council that we had, the municipal buildings committee that we had in 22, really wanted to do some projects at the fire station. But the best way to leverage the city's funds was to go after grant funds. And in doing the research for both the police station and the fire station is when I really started to learn about, just like when Amanda's talking about, the mastic being hot, but also, the firefighters come in, they have carcinogens on their work clothes, basically. And to be able to get offices and the bunk room out of the red zone that's coming in with all those contaminants, and get them into an office that's going to have better ventilation, but also those contaminants won't be introduced into their work area, so that it's safer for them long term.
I'm excited about the project.
It's
It'll
been
be
a great project, and we've been having owners' meetings every 2 weeks, so.
So I'd like to move that we approve the schematic design drawings as presented by Harriman.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Bagley?
Aye.
Kelly? Aye. Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
yep, all right.
Terrio?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, item 12B is the introduction of ordinance 4 for general assistance on page 89 of your packet.
I'll introduce ordinance number 4. 2025, amending chapter 17, general assistance.
Thank you.
That's it, right?
That's it.
Schedule a public hearing, right?
Yes, so we'll schedule the public hearing for,
Get it taken care of for the next meeting.
okay,
Can I
thank
ask a
you.
question? Well, I guess a question. I think I do this to you every year. And this is on the definition of maximums, state maximums, and what that means to us. When the state sets a maximum, is it also our maximum?
Yes.
Okay, so why can't we go lower than that?
We can't go lower. We can make the numbers, like, we can give out more money, but we can't give out
Well,
less.
see, that to me is a minimum.
Yeah.
Am I understanding it correctly? Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, item number 12C is the application for a peddlers and hawkers license for Troy Reynolds, renewal by Anderson. That's on page 96 of your packets. Mr. Troy Reynolds, DBA, renewal by Anderson, is requesting permission to go door-to-door selling his products. Peddler's license in the city of Caribou requires council permission per the charter found in Article 3, Peddlers and Hawkers, Section 7, 301-304. What are the wishes of the council?
Motion to accept peddler's applications presented for a term of 30 days for Troy Reynolds DBA renewal by Anderson.
Second.
A motion and a second. Further discussion? Bagley?
Aye.
Kelly? Aye. Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Terrio?
Aye.
Watson?
In the current conditions of the economic reality of this community, I vote aye and wish him the best of luck going from door to door.
Yep.
It's an aye for me as well. Motion carries. Item 12D is the MMA annual business meeting voting credentials, conversation on page 99.
So with this, the City of Caribou needs to appoint a voting delegate for the Maine Municipal Association annual business meeting that is held in conjunction with the MMA annual convention. The information is attached. There hasn't been a decision yet of who will be the delegate, so I'm just asking that the City Council designate that the final decision on the appointment be made by the City Manager, Penny Thompson.
What are the wishes of the council?
Motion to designate the responsibility to name an official or voting delegate to the 2025 MMA annual business meeting to City Manager Penny Thompson.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Bagley?
Aye.
Kelly? Aye. Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Terrio?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, item 12E is Resolution 3 of the 2025 series establishing the 2025 property tax rate and related deadlines. This is on page 106.
Well, the real information is in the packet that I have there. So
Yeah.
the school budget passed on the 9th.
Yep.
And so that means we have to set the tax rate. Now, I see on my page 106 looks terrible, and I don't know if it looks any better on this one. Which I guess was just some background information until I could complete all of the calculations. So a note from our assessor's agent for real estate, Joe Sally, about changes to the 2025 assessed values. This year, the adjustments that were made were 5% added to residential land and building values. This was done so that the City of Caribou could certify at 100% with Maine Revenue Services for the 2025 tax year. He did not move the commercial values because many of the assessments are already above the asking price for commercial properties. I emailed him a couple of them this spring, and the asking price was less than the assessed value. We have also not had many commercial sales to use as a guide, so we didn't feel comfortable also changing commercial, just residential land and buildings. It is important to note that over 70 jurisdictions in Maine made updates to values in 2025 to be able to certify at 100%. People are buying property in Maine at record rates and paying record prices. So it would make sense that the tax rate should decrease as values increase. So to calculate the minimum tax rate, the amount of tax to be raised is divided by the taxable municipal valuation. But it's most important to focus on what amount is being raised through taxation. So I have in this paperwork here A lot of our real estate growth in the city was in the tax increment finance district, and you'll see that with the motions that what we had anticipated for revenue were well above that. In our municipal TIF district for last year, we raised $843,000. This year, that captured value is $945,768. For RSU 39, this is the amount that we raised in '24, which was $4,976,199.54. This year, we are raising $480,645 more. And that is because their year is different than our year.
Correct.
So their budget last year, it was like $1 million more. And so we're feeling the other half of that increase this year. With the county, their budget, the difference raised between last year and this year is $142,312. On the municipal side, we are raising $212,206.98 more. In the TIF district, and this is sheltered valuation. So with the amount in the TIF district, those are used to fund credit enhancement agreements that we have and also the economic development department. But this is also sheltered valuation, which means it does not count against us when they're figuring state valuation to calculate things like revenue sharing, state aid to education, and also the county tax bill. So the money that we have there is sheltered from any tax. And the municipal overlay from last year, 2024, was $22,466.32. This year, to achieve a tax rate of 22, which is an increase of 0.6 mil from last year. But again, don't get caught up on the mill rate because it would have been higher than that if we wouldn't have also increased values, and which is why I started the conversation with that. So, yes, so to get a tax rate of 22, which is a nice even number, and coming from municipal assessor land, the real function of the overlay is so that you can have an even mill rate. You don't have to go out to 6 decimal places. The statutes allow you to raise up to 5% extra of your commitment as an overlay. That can, build up your fund balance if you want it to be that way, but the real function is to get that even tax rate. And of course, there has to be something in statute to allow that, or we'd have to just raise the amount we needed every year. So this is how much we'll be raising in taxation. I have the motions that are needed to set the taxes, the tax rate. The commitment date we'll just do as soon as possible. We usually set a date so people know, but some years I set a date and then the council doesn't actually set the tax rate and I have to go back to the Board of Assessors. So if we do set the tax rate tonight, I'll reach out to them. I talked to one of the Board of Assessors today, actually, and we'll get this out as soon as possible. They are usually due and payable about 2 weeks after the mailing, just because we have to have a date, but that doesn't mean that interest is going to start. So because we typically would send out the bills in July and we give people till the end of September to pay them, and people have expressed a lot of concern about having to have their bills paid by October 1 when they may not get the bill until maybe the 24th or 5th of September. My suggestion is that we don't start interest until Tuesday, December 16th. So that would give everyone until Monday, December 15th to pay. And originally I had it that they would start on the 15th, which was a Monday. It's an arbitrary day anyway. And you set it every year. And this having the day before be a business day is easier because people will know that they have to come in and pay that day. The interest rate on delinquent taxes, typically the council sets that at the state maximum, and for 2025 the state maximum is 7.5%. That's down from 8.5% last year. We set the rate of interest on overpayment or abatement of property taxes. Typically, we set that at 0. And then number 7 is the changes to the revenue lines. And again, we budget for something as a placeholder, but we need to change those when we know the actual numbers. So for this year, we had used as a placeholder $3,500 for property taxes. The amendment to that, if we use a mill rate of 22, is the $3,484,462.19. We budget 0 for overlay, and I've explained what we have for that. Economic development, we had 600. We're actually raising 945. Homestead exemption, we had at 850. It's 828. There's a couple of different factors for that. Again, we had increases in the values on residential property, which is where you would have the homestead exemption. But also last year, we had a higher certified ratio, so the homestead exemption was more last year. Even though the mill rate was a little bit lower, it still resulted in a higher amount, and then we will have this year. Betty reimbursement, this is always a moving target with business personal property. It depreciates every year, so what you're getting for reimbursement, unless you have businesses that are adding a lot of equipment that is Betty eligible, which we do have some newer businesses that will have some next year. One of the big drivers with this was we had one of the solar farms had applied for Betty last year, and it's one of the bigger ones. And this year they are in the renewable energy tax exemption program. So we will be getting money back from them at a lower rate, actually, than we get for Betty, but we have to put it in the correct program. So for them, the application which was accepted was for the renewable energy exemption and not for the business equipment tax exemption.
Okay.
And then, as in years prior, it's my recommendation that we close the city office at 1 p.m. on Wednesday, December 31st, so staff can complete the year-end processes. By deciding now to close the office early, staff can print this on the tax bills and alert taxpayers to the early closure. The increased communication about the closure is appreciated by taxpayers. The office will be closed, but employees will still be working. One of the reasons to do this is, we have a software system that we have to close out our books with. The crazy thing is, on the 2 days of the year where most of the towns close their books, which is June 30th and December 31st, they stay open, like an hour?
Yeah, they're open until 6.
Yeah. And we're like, if everyone has drama with their, close of year, you're never going to get through. So there's a whole process. The clerk's office have to do their work for the end of the month, the end of the quarter, end of the year. And then they have to tell finance. And then finance does end of the month, end of the quarter, end of the year. So you can imagine that process takes some time. And if we're trying to make sure that everything can get done before TRIO closes at 6, we really have to start at 1 o'clock. And of course, we're going to wait on people if they're already in the lobby. We're not going to shoo them out. But by giving them a target, we're hopeful that they can make it here by 1 o'clock.
A few comments I'd like to make about
Yeah,
this before we
please.
start. I just want to point out that to get to this point of this proposed mill rate represents a pile of work by this council and
As
by
well as the
staff.
department.
Starting
staff,
back
yeah.
in January with the capital improvement, and the other 2 entities involved, the school and the county. To get to this point, I think, I think it was July, we came back to the drawing board and were able to trim the municipal side down on the budget. It's just the best we can do. We can always do better, but I think this is a pretty reasonable
For where we are.
where we are. I mean, it's, I'll use I love is conservative, but not unreasonable.
No.
We didn't slash a whole bunch of stuff. We can keep it right here. It's a stable mill rate. I think it'll.
Well, in all reality, we kept all services. We kept everybody employed, and we tightened the belt at the same time.
And kept it right.
Yep.
It's so close.
Yep.
And I don't know when we start this again, but hopefully we'll have Little break.
Next meeting, we're starting again on the.
Yeah.
We are?
I mean, it really,
Almost.
it really feels
like
like
it.
it, you know, in October is when we kind of start talking about,
It's
you know.
It is true. So
Plans,
Can I
so.
be
the only thing I'd had a concern about,
I
well,
won't be
and
here.
I, well, the concern was like you'd already put in,
I don't need
talked
to
about,
be
was to
here.
set that interest date for December 16th. That's pretty fair because it's
Yeah.
a couple months out.
Yeah.
And with that said, I don't believe we have to do these individually. So I'll make a motion. I think everybody's seen what we've done here, and make a motion to accept resolution number 3, 2025 as proposed.
Second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion?
I think we do need to go step through each one. We at least have to specify a date for number 2.
I think that's,
It's already, isn't it already
Oh.
there?
Yeah,
yeah, it's right here in the resolution, isn't it?
yeah,
There.
Cool. No.
yeah.
Can you clarify, do we need a motion for each one of these? That's what I kind of
Well,
understood from your
what you would
writing.
be approving is resolution 3. And so resolution 3 has all of those things. in
Oh,
there.
okay, I misunderstood.
That's
Yeah.
all. That's why.
No,
I was
it's, I mean,
I
there's
need
a
to do-
lot, and it's a lot, and as Mr. Hagelstein said, it's a lot, and it's a lot for one meeting. I mean, it isn't really one meeting, because we literally have been talking about it for a year, and we're finally going to get the tax bills out. And as my family knows, like, I don't even want to drive over the speed limit until the tax bills go out, because I'm so afraid of, like, something happening, because, like, my year isn't like started until we have the tax bills out, and then I can kind of breathe a little bit, because people, it really was stressful for our citizens this year, and I'm sure that you as counselors got feedback from citizens that were very worried
Yeah,
about
yeah.
just the uncertainty of not having their bills, the uncertainty of the tax rate, of when the interest was going to start, all of those things. I know here at the office, we took a lot of calls from people that were concerned. So I appreciate your patience in getting this passed so soon after the school budget passed. I mean, it's been less than a week since it passed.
Well, that was all you
Yeah.
and your staff to do that, so.
It was a huge, and that way back in the beginning when we were initially doing this, which I'll go back to talking about the representative at the time, there was a whole bunch of people, well, we're talking 4 mil with the school and 6
Oh,
mil.
yeah.
And there was this huge well, not huge, but there was a lot of concern from
Right.
citizens
Well-
going, this is gonna be a runaway train, and I think I've used that word before.
Yeah,
but-
as Finance Director Grant has shared with us, I mean, this was a year where they sent out a lot more lien notices, and we do recognize that people are having a hard time, and I think that's why this council put a lot of work into trying halfway through the year, okay, what are some lines that maybe we haven't spent? Either that's because they were unfilled positions, maybe some people didn't take the same health care plan. Like, we were really looking at every single line for savings when the council approved those in June.
I think we
All right.
did really well for the hand tying that was slapped on us by the state and the county, just the way it goes.
Okay.
By motion.
I think we have a motion and a second, correct? Bagley?
Aye.
Kelly? Aye. Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
Godly eye.
Terrio?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And thank you very much, and I will be working to get the bills out as soon as we can, and to schedule the Board of Assessors meeting as soon as we can, to get everything signed. I mean, I know that it sounds like it's just, just another bureaucratic act, but it really is significant when your Board of Assessors actually signs the paperwork that commits that to Carl personally, our finance director, to collect those taxes. So, and we will also have, at the same time, a special assessment on a dangerous building action that we took last year. Unfortunately, it was after July 1, so we couldn't commit it last year, but we'll be committing that also to Finance Director Grant to collect as well.
Okay. Item number 13 is reports and discussion by mayor and council members. Councilor Bagley, do you have anything you'd like to discuss?
No, thank you.
Councilor Lovewell?
I'm just going to talk real quickly again about our Hallmark Christmas in Caribou committee, and just say that we're moving forward to get some fun things happening very soon. And so we're meeting quite frequently about that. But also just coming back to all the things we discussed, which were many tonight, there are a lot of really cool things happening in the area between cleanups and buildings and new things coming. And I just think that this council, I really enjoy working with the council and all these other department heads and the people that are working so hard to make things happen, to clean up the things that need to be cleaned up, to bring things in, the fun part of things, and then the working aspect even, you know, as far as ADA compliance and things. I mean, there's so many parts to government and to politics and all these other things, but you can really see it. And I think if you follow kind of through some of the things that we touched on tonight, you can really see those things that are happening. So I appreciate it. And again, look forward to the fun Christmassy Hallmark and Christmas and Caribou stuff that's going to be happening soon. So that's my favorite.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Deputy
Good
Mayor?
evening. Yeah, the only thing I want to point out is who was here earlier, Chris Perkins, our new Public Works Director, doing an excellent job. I see they had the 4240 out with the bat wing mowing around town. That's been a while. We got all the weed whacking done around the guardrails. Coming into town, there's just a lot of good things going on the sidewalk project. Got their striping done. It's doing a great job.
Caribou is blessed with amazing employees that really give
All
110%, all departments. It's, a lot of them graduated from Caribou High School, and I think they have that pride from, you know, Viking pride, and their blood really bleeds Caribou claret or whatever, maroon, whatever, because they really, I mean, even here on the council, and it really shows that people are really proud of the work they're doing.
Absolutely. Councilor Terrio?
Just going to say that hopefully what we are going to start doing with the police department is looking at other options, and maybe we'll get done before 20 years is up.
Maybe, hopefully.
But we've worked hard and done a lot, and hopefully we're going to get somewhere. So, and just keep going. That's what you can do. So get that bridge open all the time. I've worked for 8 years to try to just get the road fixed, and now we've got the road to be fixed, and the bridge is going to. Oh, great! They don't want us.
So hard on the
road. They don't want us to come. Yeah, they don't want us to come off the river road. I know that now.
That's the way it's going.
You're there. You
Are
stay.
Are you seceded?
Councilor Kelly?
Yes. Yeah.
No, I don't have much to say. I just want to thank everybody for showing up tonight and giving us your personal opinion.
Councilor Watson?
I would like to put it out there that, Joan, I'll be more than willing to rent you a rowboat so that you can get across. You know, I'm sure we can work that out financially. If you'd like, I could probably get some of the guys at the VF to row for you, so you'd be good. But otherwise, not a thing.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
A zip line.
Well, you know,
Sure.
I had a funny thought, is when we did the sewer project, they made a temporary road. Do you remember that? They did.
They did. Yeah, I'm sure they
There's
must
two
have.
sandbars.
Yes.
I wish that he'd still be here.
Yeah.
There was 2 sandbars in Fort Fairfield, and when they made the collection to go across, they actually built up the sandbar and culverted it, but they didn't have to worry about winter, you know, because they did it during the summer.
Yeah.
But that may be one of those off-the-wall options that we get to look at further down the road.
Or a zip liner.
I would say do
I would
all
like to see that.
do all your research and bring it to the public meeting when they
All, all I'm saying is, if you're zip lining, I will be there with popcorn and sodas.
And an ambulance.
Ambulance too, yeah.
No, it'll take
But they're
too
not going to be
long.
able to get to you. They're just going to look at you.
Depends which side you're going to.
We'll bring a first aid kit, that'll cover it. No, that's all I have, thank you.
Okay, thank you. The only thing I would mention is I know Manager Thompson is working right now on our candidates forum
Yep.
that will be held in October, so that the candidates that are running for city council will be able to come and share their views with the public. And so, yeah, looking forward to that.
Yep, and we have already our traditional little table and box lovingly made by my husband for our daughter's wedding, where we put the questions, and we've got cards. And are you going to be able to make it October 7th?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I'm going to either be out of town either that week or the following week, and I'm trying to get an answer now.
Okay.
I should be able to get you an answer very soon.
So we're trying to get that nailed down for a date, but, Jason Parent has said he'll be our moderator again, so.
He's terrific.
He is terrific.
Really good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you so much for that reminder.
Yes, our next regular meeting will be on Monday, October 20th, 2025. All right. Item number 15 is executive session. What are the wishes of the council?
Oh, okay. I make a motion that we close the meeting and move to executive session as identified under MRSA Title 1, 405.6.
An 80B complaint.
ADB complaint.
Yep.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Bagley?
Aye.
Kelly? Aye. Lovewell?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Terrio?
Aye.
Watson?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. So I would like to thank everyone for attending the meeting this evening, and that closes the public portion of the meeting. Everyone could please turn your microphones off.
Bags needed, so we're.
Speak for yourself. I'll take a nap. Pizza when it goes out.
Yeah.